Greetings, weary traveler, come, warm yourself by the fire and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, and once again, Tales of Tamriel. I'm your host Arkhaniir and I'm joined by the full crew after a very long time. And starting with the founder of the show himself, Aggelos. How's it going, Ag?
It's going pretty good. Good to be back after a very, very, very long time.
Yeah. We are also joined by the dedicated Extra Life charity streamer Lotus of Doom. How's it going, Lotus?
It's going well. A bit of a catastrophe getting here on time, which I did not hit, but nonetheless, I'm here now.
It happens. As long as we make it live.
Yeah,
a little
enough.
Of delays. Yeah, close enough. And we are also joined by the Arkhaniir voice of the show, Promethean. How's it going?
It's going all right. Back to the grind of school, so things are better.
So episode 212. After 3 weeks, it's been 3 weeks, right? 3 or 4.
I think it's been 3. Yeah,
I believe so.
So a bit of information on why we haven't actually made it to a show. So initially, after our last show with Lotus of Doom and myself, my work schedule got insanely crazy. So that Friday that I would have recorded, I left the office at 3 a.m., which doesn't leave much time and energy for recording a show at 4 a.m. And that tempo continued for a little while. And then Aggelos would have hosted, but if I remember correctly, you got stuck in a meeting at work. Right, Ag?
Yes, I did.
No. I was like, is he not hearing us again?
No, no, I did.
And then Ag also got hit by allergies.
Yes.
So
you can actually still hear it in his voice.
Yeah,
you sound fine, but like you don't sound like you usually do, which is just kind of funny. You can tell the difference.
Well, you knew even last week we canceled our other shows too that I normally do on Thursday night. So if I cancel those shows as well, the ones that I host and I have no backups for, you know I'm sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, after 3 weeks, we are finally back. Ag got his voice. My work schedule returned to normal. Promethean is back to his normal schedule. Lotus somehow made it to the show.
Yeah, I almost didn't, but I made it back, and now I have beer. So, life is good.
I think, Lotus, you were the only one who was able to steadily make it to the show on Fridays, right?
Yeah, for the most part, but I think one of the weeks I couldn't do it either. I think that was like what doomed us, was one of the weeks I wasn't going to make it either. And we were, was trying to get at least 2 of us, and it's like, well, this is just not working.
Yeah, because Ark was asking if I could do it, and I said, yeah, sure, I could do it. And but I'm like, I need a co-host. Right. Promethean was out because of his schedule, and I think you were like, oh, I think I can make it, and then like, no,
I think that was the week
can't.
I couldn't. Then you were sick. Yeah. Then that was what I mean. I think that was the only week you were going to host, and of course, no one else could make it. So it's like, yeah, we really nailed that whole 3-week span.
Yep, I felt good. I'm like, I'll host. Don't worry, I got this. Oh, I'm by myself. All right then.
You know what? We should just pre-record a bunch of random things. And just let them ramble at each other in a way that nothing makes sense, but it'll pretty much be a normal Tales show.
So no one will know the difference. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. And we can make wild speculations about things as if they're fact. It's like, yeah, I know, we're going to Whiterun next chapter. How about that? Confirmed.
Yeah. Unbelievable. You heard it here first.
Yep. Breaking news.
Official.
I mean, it will eventually happen. And when it happens in like 5-year span, we'll be able to link this show and we'll be like, yeah, we mentioned it. Yeah, we
totally predicted it back in 2019.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be sooner. I think it'll be sooner than what we're
I'm
hoping.
really hoping it'll be the next chapter.
I legitimately think it'll be the next one, but still.
I do too.
Give me something Skyrim.
Lyris is next. She's the only companion left that we need to deal with.
Yep.
Actually, yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yep.
We haven't seen her in a cinematic either, and imagine how amazing that cinematic will be.
Right?
Oh, man. I'm now excited for no reason, like no particular reason. And I'm now in full expectation. I just made myself wait for something that hasn't even confirmed yet.
They'll announce the next chapter and you'll be like, oh.
I hope not. I hope not.
Southern Merkmeyer. No.
Oh, yeah. You want to hear a ranch show, announce another Merkmeyer chapter.
Yep.
Everyone but Promethean will be like, well, Promethean's like, oh, this sounds wonderful, guys.
Deep Black Marsh, wonderful.
I'm so excited. Oh my god.
This is amazing. Lotus and I are flipping our desk.
Yeah.
So, we have a show with some news and a lot of tales, but before we do, we have a couple of reviews from a few weeks back, because we haven't done a show in a while, but these are good reviews. So, this is called Tales of Morrowind by, is this, do you have the names on? Because I have a pronunciation question for you.
Oh, hold on.
Is this Michael or Mikhail? Is it, how do you...
It's Michael.
Michael,
Michael.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is from Michael Madison, a 5-star review called Tales of Morrowind. I love this podcast, and I know it is an Elder Scrolls Online podcast, but I have an idea. You guys can make an every other week podcast called Tales of Morrowind, but you guys can also have Tales of Skyrim, Tales of Daggerfall, etc. But if you can't make a separate show, just talk more about Morrowind, Dunmer forever. I don't agree with that last part.
I think you're trying to turn this into Elder Scrolls off the record with like classic Elder Scrolls.
Classic. That's right. I have the abstract games covered still.
Lotus has been bringing the tales that as classic as it can be. With
yeah.
I don't think we can go any classicer than that.
I don't know. I think I've got every other one able to run on my laptop, so I think I might just go through the whole series. Somebody made a really good suggestion. I don't remember who it was. It was from Twitter. That I go through and I take a screenshot of every one of the ending credits from every Elder Scrolls game and turn it into a collage, since probably nobody's been stupid enough to play some of the really abstract ones, like the 2 Java games that I got to run on my laptop. So I'm even going to go through those 2 phone games.
You do realize you now just have to play through Redguard again, right?
Yeah, that has crossed my mind, that I don't have the computer that I had that save file on.
Yep, so you're going to have to play through it again.
That was one of the worst experiences of my life.
A tear is just dripping down his face right now.
Oh my lord. Yeah, that... Knowing what I'm into for that one would be painful to try to dig through that again. Whoa.
Do it for Tales. Well, okay, well, here you go. Lotus will be bringing all these suffering tales for you classic Elder Scrolls fans.
I'm sure some of them are probably very good. People very strongly still recommend Daggerfall if you can get it to run, so... I
don't think I can go... Yeah, go ahead.
So I purchased Daggerfall, Battlespire, and I think you get Arena on... I think you recommended it to me, Lotus. For like $3 you can get all 3 of them or something?
Yeah, something like that.
I couldn't figure out the combat. Like, I spent like a half hour trying to figure out how to hit things, and I just got frustrated and quit. But they run fine on my PC. Like, they were... I mean, as far as like old games are going to run, they ran fine.
Yeah, I feel like it will just take a little deciphering to figure out how to play them. But I mean, it kind of did that with Shadowkey, and I managed to slog my way through that. And to be fair, once I got the hang of it, it was like, oh, okay, I see how this works. It's like Morrowind, but not good. Okay, it's like I can live with that.
I think Morrowind is as old as I can get with any game. I think, well, there is Age of Empires 2, but I think they are released at around the same time.
Yeah, that's kind of the cutoff point of...
Yeah, I can't play any game that is older than, like, 2002, 2004. I think that's my limit.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I can understand that.
Yeah. I might restart a Morrowind playthrough, though, because I did that a while ago. I played for, like, 50 hours, which have... Those episodes have tales from my Morrowind playthroughs, but...
I loved those.
It was painful. It was painful. And
I think the pain is what makes people entertained, from what I've learned from Shadow.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
this is funny to hear. It's like, all right, that's
from
good.
what I can tell,
I'll never play it, but I love hearing you suffer.
People's favorite tales, favorite streams, things like that, have always been the ones that we suffer in it, like dungeon runs with pugs, playing Morrowind, Shadow Key.
That's true. Nobody likes us to succeed. They like listening to our struggles.
When Thais tells me and Deltia to pack up our ovaries.
Yeah.
Yup. She had enough of your sentimental crap. Yup.
Yeah. That was the end of that.
I think we actually need a counter for what Isha has been doing. Do we actually have a counter?
The cat.
Kitty counter?
Yeah.
A kitty counter?
Because Isha has been doing !kitty in chat. Also, hello chat room. We dived into banter real quickly, and we haven't been able to say hello to you. But thank you all so very much for being here live with us, keeping us company. And yeah, we kind of need an !kitty or like animal family members, because we have a corgi as well. I think I'm the only one without a pet.
Here we go. Here's my kitty.
Yep, there we go. ! Kitty. Looks like she's going for the kill immediately.
Yeah, no, she went right for the neck. Yeah.
Yep, I was going to say, she's trying to Blade of Woe you as we speak.
For anyone who's listening to this in audio form, Agg's cat is just like almost on top of his head. He just climbed on his shoulder and is chilling there.
She's like fine with it now. Actually, like, this isn't so bad. I'll just hang out up here, I guess.
Yep, she's good right there. She'll sit there.
I'll kill you later
for a good bit. I'll
the
kill him
Nordic
later.
shoulders. Yeah. All right. So the next review is from Cryptid Dave, and it's another 5-star review called "A Fantastic and Fun." Just came here to say this show is great, and if you are not Ebonheart packed, then who even are you?
Which is
true.
Has been,
well done.
Yeah. This has been one of my favorite reviews.
Yeah,
it's short and it's to the point. Yeah, it deserves an applaud.
Very apt.
Very well worded.
Very astute of you. I agree with this.
But thank you both of you for these reviews. They help a lot. They help massively, and we appreciate all the reviews that you give us. And most of them, like all of these, are very well crafted and amusing as well, so I like that as well. It's not just like this is a good podcast, but almost all of the reviews we get, they have some witty, amazing,
you're all pretty funny with them
supporting
too,
comments.
Yeah, or some type of counter griefing thing to us while leaving us a 5-star. These are entertaining to read, so it's actually pretty fun for us too.
Exactly, yeah. Except when they praise anything about Ebonheart Pact and Nords, then we just ignore them and pretend they never happened.
Sweep them under the rug.
Yeah.
I report them to iTunes saying they're clearly spam and
Pact account.
Report harassment.
Yeah,
report harassment.
Man. All right. So that was the intro part. I have one small behind-the-scenes update. We might remember the intro cinematic-like thing that I was working on. I basically deleted all of the project files, so I have to record all of them again and put them together again. It was a moment of, oh look, I'll organize my hard disk, and I did organize my hard drive by deleting my project files, so I'll have to do them again. I just have the recorded rendered version, which is not final, so I can't work on it. But once I get everything back and record again, I'll put it back together, and we'll have our updated intro and things like that.
Nice.
So, on to the news. I'm going a little bit fast because I had coffee at too late into the night.
I'm just glad you're not suffering yet. So,
Oh no,
it's
no,
very
no.
early where you
I
are.
had,
So,
yeah, I had good amounts of coffee, and it has a different side effect of making me a little bit hyper.
hyper's
but
good. Hyper means excitement.
Yeah. It's better than being sleep drunk and not
Right.
being able to put words together.
It's true.
My cat's still on my shoulder. I hope
Yeah,
everyone
I
realizes
love it
this.
actually.
She is at home up there right now.
She's my cute little elfique, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And she's not even bothering or doing anything
No,
like.
just hanging out.
I mean,
Yeah.
whenever Ophelia Noir
She's literally on my shoulder, just sitting
Yeah.
there.
Ophelia's
Noir
kitties are adorable.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
amazing. But
Yes.
they, like, especially the first one she got, Pumpkin. He doesn't stay still. Whenever she gets it on stream, it's like attacking the microphone, biting Mika, like grabbing her hair and pulling it. It's like, and then there is Aggelos' cat. I guess it's a podcast pro as well. Like he learned it over time.
Yeah, she's been doing this for a very long time. So.
She's a vet.
Yeah.
This is when I stay still.
Yep.
Well, I've been doing the show almost as long as she's been alive now.
That's what I was going to say. She's going to be like
Yeah.
veteran rank 5 year-wise at this point, so she's just hanging out up there.
She's been used to this show for like 5 years now. She's only 8 years old, so yeah.
Yeah.
She's been doing it
used to
longer than the rest of us. Like
She
only
has.
Aggelos has been.
Yeah, exactly. She's the second most senior person on the podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do remember you using a anti-Khajiit spray though, for a while.
Well, she
I
still
remember
showed
that.
up on the show though, but it was just for shorter amount of time. And the reason why I used anti-Khajiit spray is because she shed. She's actually really fluffy. Yeah. Fluffy. But when
get
she's
your own neck
fluffy,
pillow.
I know, right? Like I'm just
Yeah.
leaning back on her, and she doesn't even care at this point. She's like, yeah, whatever. But the problem is, she's so fluffy that sometimes she sheds and her hair comes out, and then her hair gets on my nose, and I'm itchy the entire show. Not like
That makes a lot of
allergic
sense.
itchy, but you know, like I got hair on
Yeah.
my face.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it itches. So
Alright, so we have a few quick to mention news. First up is, unfortunately for PC, Mac users only, players only, consoles don't get this one as well. It's a Twitch Prime loot for PC Mac, which is a mount and a pet. These are, I guess, the purple versions of the Sijic mounts.
did you get yours?
Yeah, I got mine, but I haven't used it because it's quite honestly, it's ugly. It's
Yeah, I don't like them, but is that what it was? Because I thought it was like the Dramothra thing, only purple.
It-
But
That's
I mean,
what I
I guess
did.
that's
oh yeah,
very
that
similar
makes
to the
not Sijic,
it's
yeah, the
similar
Dromothra
style.
Yeah, with the lines, like black,
yeah.
purple lines on black skin.
Yeah.
The
not
thing
my
is,
thing.
yeah, it's too shiny.
But it was
it's too
free,
weird.
so I got
Well,
it.
Yeah,
it's free,
yeah, got it.
and I know a lot of people do like that color pattern, so like I get it.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's free. I mean, it's not like they're charging anybody for it, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, you linked your things. Here's a free gift.
Right.
So what you need to do is, until September 27, you need to link your ESO and Twitch account, PC Mac only, again, unfortunately. Get Twitch Prime with Amazon Prime, and if you do, you can support the show on Twitch, because it will give you a free sub every month as well.
Look
then
at that.
I'm learning.
I tell you what, that is that was masterful right there.
I'm learning from the best when it comes to this.
Impressive.
Then you'll visit twitch.amazon.com/ESO and click claim offer, and it will automatically add the new mount and pet in your collections menu. They are working on getting all these promotions into consoles as well, but they haven't given a specific date on it yet. But hopefully in the near future, these type of promotions will be in what's the name? Will be there for consoles too.
Yes.
With that,
yeah, that kind of brings us to the positive note, because everyone knows that has any interaction with me on Twitter that I never shut up about this. Console exists too, so I like to bring that up in, the way of like, oh, hey, look, we're not included again. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This isn't even necessarily something I care too much about. But at the same time, I know it matters to a lot of people, especially who like cosmetic stuff, like us too. Well, we finally are going to get Twitch drops on console, which is awesome. It took a while, but hey, whatever. At least they were working on it. So like we weren't as ignored as... I didn't think we were being ignored, but I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? So I'm glad that whatever holdup it was, probably Sony, is now rectified. Because I know Warframe got it fixed, so that kind of gave me some hope. I think they got theirs fixed in February, maybe, and they started getting Twitch drops on console. So I'm like, okay, well, I know it's doable. It's nice to see that, ZOS has finally got that under control with whatever hang-up it was on the back end. That's pretty awesome for console folk. We actually get it too now. Or soon, at least.
So they announced it basically in a small tweet on September 1. Just announced at our ESO community event, Twitch drops for console players will be available in Q4 of this year. More details are coming soon. We haven't gotten those details yet, although I've read that you'll have to do something weird to get it.
That wouldn't surprise me. It's got to be some weird bypass or something, which is, I'll do it for the sake of, I don't assume I had a discussion where we kind of were like, so do we think we'll retroactively get the ones that we had before? And I'm going to go with no, probably not.
Yeah.
Because I was actually, I believe it was T, the Khajiit that I was talking to about it. I was like, oh yeah, mine go unused. I wish I could give them away. And she brought up the fact, she's like, oh yeah, that's right. Since you're on PlayStation, you don't get to use them. And I took a picture of my dashboard on Twitch. She's like, you have 44 crown crates. I was like, I have 44 crown crates. And I feel like they're going to just kind of go in the trash. That's fine. Like I said, this isn't so much for me. But I appreciate it for the people who like this stuff. So
yeah. Well, they give so many useless stuff. The Twitch crown crates, 44 crown crates. It's not much. Although you have a chance to get Scarlet Senchei Tiger mount.
Yes.
Which I
but
did
it's like
somehow.
0.001%. So don't
I actually got all of your RNG getting
I know you did.
Ark? Yeah, I was going to say, Ark used literally all of his RNG ever.
Lately, I've been good with RNG. Like, I won the Bethesda care package giveaway.
Yeah, you won that sweet care package.
I won the Necro coin from Nika.
I forgot about that. Did you get that yet?
No, she hasn't sent it yet because we are trying to make sure that it arrives.
Sure it arrives.
Planning is going into it.
Yeah. You can purchase them now. I purchased.
Yeah, but not the E3 version.
Yeah, it's a different one.
Oh, it is a little different?
So did you get one?
I've ordered one off Bethesda.
Okay, so I'll show you mine when yours arrives.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool. They're similar, but so the coin is the same. The E3 ones, because Rennie Penny sent me mine. I don't have it near me, or I'd grab it and show you. Ours is silver from E3.
Oh, okay.
Yours is like gunmetal black. So they're unique from each other, but they look really similar, same pattern. It's just a different metal, it looks like.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah. And Bethesda's, that store from Bethesda doesn't ship to Turkey. Like that limited edition
Oh.
items don't ship to Turkey, so I wouldn't have been able to get in it. I'm kind of glad
Gotcha.
that they don't, because I put
Yeah.
all of it in my cart and I was like, this is not a good idea, but I was so ready to
Yeah.
do it anyway. And I'm
Guess I'm
so
living on the
glad
streets for the
that-
next month.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to convince people that these are real coins so that I can buy food.
They also released a Dragon Guard version,
Yeah,
which
it's on
is
the way
also
to
an
me.
amazing coin, but
It
that's
looks
also
awesome.
limited.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I got one of those babies heading
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
Can we
It
take a
ships.
moment to mourn the loss of Torchbug Tuesday?
Oh yeah, I
What
saw
happened?
that.
What
There's
happened?
not. Yeah, it's they had the last drawing. I believe it was this week, right? That was the
Yep.
final
Oh,
Torchbug
wow.
Tuesday.
They're not doing
Yep,
Torchbug
apparently.
Tuesday anymore.
They've given away all the Torchbugs, or we ripped the thoraxes off the rest of them, so there's none left.
Yeah.
Tamriel is finally free of torchbugs. They are extinct.
Rivenspire is going to get a lot darker.
I wonder why they stopped. Really, like,
Maybe they're going to do a different promotion.
They'll probably
that
do
makes
something
sense.
different.
Yeah,
Because it's not like, okay, it's not like it's a limited edition. It's a digital code. You know,
Yeah.
they can
Right.
just
Right.
keep
And they're just
generating, but
and to be fair, it's not like they give away one a week. I think this last one they gave away like 30. Like they let
Yeah, I
like
saw,
a
like,
lot
a
of
lot.
people have them.
Yeah.
But I think
entire
they
to
also-
just names.
they look at
Yeah.
it from their metrics and go, okay, people are interested, but as their metrics go down, like, oh, we're only getting so many retweets now, you know, they're hitting that point where, well, most of the people who wanted it got it, you know, let's
Yeah.
maybe switch it up to something else to give away,
That
and
makes
maybe
sense.
we'll get more renewed stuff after a while. Yeah.
Isha says Guar's Tuesday. No.
I would be-
No.
I'd be fine with
No.
that.
Moving on.
War day every day.
Where were we? Right. The Twitch drops for consoles. Now the next bit is the Crown Store showcase for September, which I usually quickly go over these, but if you guys have any specific items on here that you want to discuss, I have one. But if
I
anyone
totally looked at these and am not clicking on the link now to see what's actually there.
So the free statue for this month for ESO Plus members is the Bella, Blessed Lady statuette. There are the Cold Harbor and Imperial City related furniture packs and costumes and skins, all limited time. All have different dates, so I'm not gonna go into them individually, but if you're interested, go check out the article. It will be in the show notes below, anywhere you are listening to or watching to this. There's the Dragon Priest costume is making a comeback again.
I was going to say,
limited
that
time.
looks awesome.
That's like the third time it's been in the Crown Store. Like,
That looks really cool.
It
Why do I
keeps
not
coming
remember
back.
this?
The Imperial City DLC will be free because there's a celebration event which we'll be getting into.
Yes.
But my most important thing is the one house I was so upset that I couldn't get because it was limited time only and I didn't have enough crowns back then is making a comeback, and it's the Linchal Grand Manor with the only Lebanese structure in the game with the white marbles and and the courtyard and the palace and the castle is back. And this time, I have 35k crowns sitting in my account because the last time there was a sale, I made a
this time you're ready.
very reasonable,
Stock up.
very responsible decision of buying a lot of crowns.
I
it's
blacked out
worth
and it
it.
said you cannot purchase more crowns.
Quite honestly, I didn't expect this to come. I mainly did it because I was expecting, like, what if the next chapter is a Skyrim related one and they give this amazing, limited time only, awesome Nordic house. So I had to be prepared. But I'm gonna buy this anyway, and I think I'll still have enough crowns for a house like that. So I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So-
My next housing project. Yeah.
This is related, but not directly on topic. So, in terms of awesome Nordic lodges and stuff like that, just on a side note, like, did you ever look at the one you get that came out? You can buy it in game for gold, unfurnished, if you complete the
Hawkwild's
Horns of the
High Hall.
Yes.
By the Folkreath.
So that one, I mean, it's not that I don't like that place, but why is so much of it a catacomb underneath?
Yep.
Not
Yeah.
just
It's
that,
like 50% catacombs and like 50% actual manor that's split into like two chunks.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's more than it's like under 50% of a manor. It's a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
outside.
weird.
It's like all
and there's a bunch outside. It's
Yeah.
very strange. I don't know.
It has a
I was
great-
pretty let down. I thought that was going to be one I bought until I looked around. I was like, oh, well, all right, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It
Every
is a
time I
great
look at
courtyard.
it, I go, man, I really want this thing, like thinking I want it. And then I go inside and preview it and I go, wow, I'm glad I didn't waste the money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't have a good layout. It literally looks like the final boss fight, like, room.
Well, and that's because you're sitting there going, why in creation, when they have these Nordic houses, is it not like the guild hall in Riften, right? With like the
Yeah.
multiple rooms
Yes.
and
Yeah.
instead it's just that big giant circle hall. It's like,
I mean, here's
Or
the thing.
even like
It's
ahead.
the place is called High Hall, and that hall makes sense for, let's say, it's, you know, you're a Jarl, you're a Thane, you're accepting people into your presence, you have your meetings there, you have the meat hall there. It's like a common room. But when you look at that building from outside, it has at least 5 stories worth of towers, floors, things
Right.
like that.
Yeah.
And then you go in, you look up, and it's like, where are they?
Oh.
Where's the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But I
there's a
feel like-
lookout tower and...
Such a missed
feel like-
opportunity.
Like the layouts from Skyrim, like if you look at like Dragon's Reach is like a that would
Yeah.
have been cool had they done that.
That would have been amazing.
Right. And I liked the crypt part. When I first arrived, I was like, oh, cool. It has like this weird crypt too. But then it was just, I didn't like the upper parts. I was like, oh, so I'm buying a crypt. I was like, I see.
I mean, crypts are nice because you can put your Altmer there to, you know,
That's true.
keep
you
them
can
there,
wrap them,
but-
stuff them down there.
it puts
Dump
the
some fresh
lotion on the
Markmeyer.
skin or else it gets
Yep.
the hose again. Yeah, I got you.
but
No
yeah,
one,
the
no one
house
under the age of
itself-
30 got that joke.
Yay, included in things.
Promethean's laughing, but he's like, I have no
It's like
idea.
more
what's
laughing
going
at
on.
my
I don't know
reaction.
what's going on.
I'm just smiling, like, yeah.
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 Yup.
Happened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Included.
Did you guys
I
ever watch
understand.
Westworld?
Yeah.
Actually, wait.
Okay.
The latest Westworld or the
No, just
original
any Westworld.
Yeah, no.
Original Westworld.
No.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I
not
was going to say,
original.
Anthony Hopkins is in this reference. So
Yeah.
it's a
So
Silence of the
good.
Lambs thing, just so you don't go insane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's going to be a lot of like returning mounts, pets, things like that. So go check it out. There's also a home furnishing sale, by the way, which is an important part. A lot of the furnishing you can buy from the in-house browser, whatever it's called, is also on sale. So if there are specific items that you want to buy for crowns individually, they should be on sale as well. And it will go on until September 24. Oh, they separated. Why do they do this? I'll have to read it. 2 more home furnishing sales are happening this month from Tuesday, September 10 to Tuesday, September 24. All parlor furnishings will be on sale. And from September 24 to October 8, all library furnishings will be on sale. So, just so you know. But yeah, the
Fusion
details,
level rising.
the details are in the article. In terms of our main news, the Imperial City celebration event has returned as of September 5, and it will run until September 16th, Monday. This time, what they did is they made the entire Imperial City DLC entirely free. So it's free, and it says from now on and for the foreseeable future, you can acquire the Imperial City DLC game pack for 0 crowns from the DLC section of the Crown Store. So from what I understand, the free DLC is not limited to the duration of the event. Game. But basically, it's part of the base game now. For whatever reason, they didn't make it part of the base game, but you still have to buy it from the Crown Store. Unlike some of the previous features like Battlegrounds, things like that.
So, other than this being awesome, and I'm a huge fan of this, I think it's because you can still buy the fancy edition of it if you want all the stuff so you don't farm the Molag Bal. I think that's probably why they keep it. It's like, okay, you can get the free version, or you can buy all these add-ons to go with it, so they might leave it in the store just for that purpose.
The stuff from Molag Bal is different from the stuff you get from the collector's edition, too. Like, not a lot.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, but so there's 2 skins. You get Mind Shriven from the collector's edition.
Instead of Soul Shriven or whatever.
Instead of Soul Shriven, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they're like essentially the same, but...
Similar, but not technically the same.
Yeah,
okay.
I just picked up the collector's edition because it was the only one I didn't have for some reason.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Swampy in chat says, was in Imperial City today, tore up some Dominion peeps. That is what we like to hear. That is what we like to hear, Swampy.
Yes.
Doing
I also really like this event. I mean, it's no mid-year mayhem, which I never can get enough of, but this event is, all PvP content. I think they've hit their stride very specifically with this, as they've fixed Battlegrounds as well. If you're going to do PvP stuff, which I'm for, that's fine. I think they've got the handle on that. Needs to just be base game. You can't separate that community the way you do the PvE community, because it has kind of like a life tether to who else is playing. And you just need numbers to make it work. So I think this was a very smart move by them. And the event itself is pretty straightforward, which again, I like straightforward because those are the events I do, because I just kind of do things that coincide with what I like, how I play. And killing a boss in Imperial City or killing the end boss of one of the 2 Imperial City dungeons, that's fine. That's just okay, here's incentive to go do one of these 2 things related to the IC. Nothing complicated, nothing elaborate, nothing even necessarily out of your way. The pledges have even been like, yesterday was ICP and today was White Gold, I believe. Perfect. Like, that's great. So people are getting tickets just for playing, like just being engaged. I really like that. I thought that was, so far I've been impressed with how this one is going. Unlike the last couple, which...
No, Lotus, you have a fan in chat.
Yeah.
No, why is it black? Oh, hey! I was like, why is it black? I can't. It's black on a black night screen. I'm like, I can't read that. Hi, Fantasy Geek. She's actually from my charity group. So, her and her husband are both involved with Good for Gaming for Extra Life. So.
Oh, that is great. That is great.
Yep.
Nice.
By the way, are you preparing for this year's marathon?
I am, and actually, ideally next week I will be back to consistently streaming at least once a week is the plan, up until event day. I'm trying to figure out a weekend where I do not have a wedding that I have to attend, and that'll be the weekend that I am going to stream a marathon. So it is coming up. It'll probably be later on fall would be my guess. I will keep everybody updated as it gets closer.
All right, great. Don't make us forget.
Yeah.
Yes, no. I will keep everyone informed. For me being so uncoordinated, I believe we're at $360 raised out of my goal of 1,000 this year. So thank you for everybody who subs when I don't stream and has just donated. You guys are great.
People are just raising in early, and
yep.
So in terms of the Imperial City event, as usual with events, there are double loot from Telvar stones, double chance for Stonefire Scamp or Soul Shivering Skin, double the amount of key fragments, Trove Scamps, Cunning Scamps, and pretty much everything you get from Imperial City, you get double or at least double chances. You can also acquire event tickets for your Indrik mounts or upgrading them, defeating the final boss of either Imperial City Prison dungeon or White Gold Tower dungeon, or slaying a patrolling monster in Imperial City streets, or mini-bosses within the Imperial City sewers, which I am just now realizing is what Lotus just said, so there you go, redundant information.
Yep, but those are the you were just being more descriptive of why this is a good event.
Yeah, I was just reading the article.
Yep.
And that actually concludes our news section. I was going to go into the multi-bidding problems in European Mega Server, but it's now news of a few weeks ago, so I'm not going to go into them. To summarize, when they pushed the multi-bidding feature to live, everything that went wrong in European Mega Server. People lost their traders, people got refunded billions of golds, the market crashed, inflation happened, people weren't happy, people took advantage, people got banned, or at least their like gold removed, things like that. So the situation got handled, it was chaos, but it got handled over the period of a week. So there's the summary for it.
Which kind of like weird situation, because going into it, I mean, I know you play on EU, I have a lot of friends who play on EU, and everybody's kind of like, how is this not as bad as it looks? And then they didn't really have a response very quickly. So it was like, this is
like 2 days for a response to come.
And they've been traveling for all these events, so I think a lot of their staff isn't around. So it's like, oh my lord. Like, so that looked bad. Again, like, I'm all for criticizing when things need to be criticized, but at the same time, I'm all for, tipping my cap to people when they do something right. Their response to that, I can't believe they came up with a solution that somehow fixed that disaster.
Yeah.
Like, I was shocked that it was like, wow, that actually seems like you pretty much rectified the situation in the end in the grand scheme of things.
There are still people who got hurt in terms of,
yes,
you are in a good trading guild, everything is going fine, and then your guild leader gets refunded billions of gold. He decides, okay, you know what, I'm gonna launder this by buying every gold material in the thing. Right. And he gets wrecked by Zas, the guild gets wrecked by Zas, you don't get a trader, and now you are not in a good trading guild, you are in a destroyed trading guild. So, it's the fault of the guild leader for trying to exploit the situation. But the members got hurt. And then there are people who benefited by selling their gold materials for a high price, which I tried as well, I'll be honest. I couldn't sell.
I
was too late to the party. I was at work when all this happened. I was reading, like, people in Discord were like, people are selling a draw wax for 20k a piece, and I'm like, I need to get home and list the gold materials that I have. But I was too late to the party and didn't make any money from it. I wish I had.
That's fair. It's yeah, but that's like a weird market flux. Like, you can have that in real life with an actual stock market and stuff. And again, the temptation was there, and it sucks to be under a guild leader who did something shady and then got punished, so your guild essentially fell apart as a result of it. But that's almost like the result of, if that was how it was going to go, something eventually would probably have triggered that as well. It might have ended up being a different situation. This just sped it along. So, again, it's certainly not perfect. It'd be easier to just go back in time and fix the problem before it happened, but...
I was also expecting a rollback, like a full server rollback on the first, like, as soon as it happened, I would have thought, okay, something went terribly wrong, we are gonna shut down the servers and we are gonna roll back a few hours a day, whatever. But everything, I think everything who can decide this was at Gamescom when it happened. That's why the answer was late, the response was late. Yep. Because anyone who could comment on this specific topic, a topic this major, was attending Gamescom. So like Gina was at Gamescom, everyone was there. So I guess the people who didn't get to go there are like, okay, we can't reach anybody.
Yeah, but doesn't that raise its own issue?
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, from a succession plan, why would you send everyone who can make these decisions and have them all be out of reach?
And I feel like it's I don't want to falsely attribute to this, but I believe it was Alcast who made the comment of why would you keep the trader deadline when you do overhauls like this on a weekend when literally no one is at work?
Yeah, see,
and I'm like,
there is a very important software company rule. Never deploy on a Friday.
Right. So it's like, I guess, because Trader Flip, correct me if I'm wrong, because I do not do trader purchasing. Sundays? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. It was like Sunday. Yeah.
It's like Sunday night.
It was a rookie mistake. I mean, you don't deploy on a Friday. Don't deploy when your core group is not there to handle the situation. Just don't do it. Let it be delayed.
I've rescheduled deployments around my vacation. Like, if I'm not going to be there, or if I call in sick, I'll be like, nope, you're not doing this today. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. That's the proper way to go.
Lotus and I talked about it a little bit when we were in game. We were running dungeons and stuff, and I just think that like they're spreading themselves too thin to be able to manage everything they're trying to accomplish right now.
Yeah,
like they don't seem to have enough people to do all of the behind the scenes updates with servers and bug fixes and literally everything they're accomplishing in these next couple quarters, and be on top of a functioning update.
I think that's not the main issue, because North American mega servers are and have been fine in these situations. European mega servers, however, I guess because they don't have any in-house or on-hand staff at the European data centers or whatever, I don't know.
It's because they're renting them, I think.
Yeah, and like from the company I work at, an example is like, a server goes down, something goes wrong, you call the data center, the guy there is either clueless, or like he's lazy, or he's just taking his sweet time, and it's like, there's nothing you can do, because you can't just put someone on the plane and fly him to God knows where. Right. So you are stuck with the staff the data center that you're renting has, unless it's a problem that you can solve remotely, and you're at their mercy, basically. So unless they, like ZeniMax Online opens a European studio and have direct on-hand like dealings with the data centers, I guess EU Mega Server will still continue as a bit of a adopted child situation.
Well, the other thing, which I believe, I'm going to attempt to not mess up who I'm crediting things with. I believe it was the UESP podcast was mentioning that European servers, other than exactly what you stated, are in a weird situation because of the groups that play on their server, demographically and number-wise. They almost run into two separate peak times because of time zones. And they had mentioned something, again, if this is to the best of my recollection, so there's probably more fine-tuning than I'm able to explain off the top of my head. But because of the time zone difference in the region that plays on EU PC, they tend to get hit with two different, like, for us, it's like, okay, everybody gets home between 5 and 8, depending upon what time zone you're in. So that's your peak time. And then it's just like, so you account for like, okay, we need to make sure peak time isn't too overloaded, otherwise you're going to be a disaster or whatever. Whereas EU, because of so many time zones kind of combining to that between New Zealand, Australia, the Japanese apparently server, people tend to play on that server. They get like a dual peak time is how I understood it. So they have 2 separate like influxes per day every day that tend to hit their servers, which cuts down when they can have an easier time running the servers, which just wears the situation harder there than it seems like it would when you just have kind of like 1 4-hour block instead of 2 independent 4-hour blocks or a 5-hour block or whatever.
Could be, yeah.
Again, this is kind of beyond my technical expertise, so that was more of what I remember hearing them say, to the best of my ability of kind of remembering that from like a couple weeks ago. But like, I wonder if that has like a heavier effect than I would think it does.
Yeah, in any case, I mean, it happens, and they eventually handle it. What I was a bit upset was that, like, because there weren't any response as to what they were planning to do for a couple days, I was like, now do I do any difficult content? Yeah, right. I mean, I was scared to, like, if I had completed, I don't know, Layer of Marselok hard mode, and the server, they decided to do a rollback, I would be pretty upset. So I didn't really do anything for that 2 days.
100%. I would have been in the same boat. I would have done the same thing. It's like, I'm not going to do anything because it might just not count. And that's, I'll find something else to do.
Suffer for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So much for not going into details of EU multi-bidding issues.
Yep. Like we do. We kept it short and brief to 40 minutes.
Exactly according to our plans. I might as well read the entire thing because I have them linked, like what happened, their response, things like that.
Which was exactly what we did anyway. All right. Yeah. We're professionals. That's what we do.
Alright, so our favorite Tales time. Ag, do you have any Tales?
No. I've been sucked into WoW Classic with all of our guildies.
Okay, that's what I was expecting.
We do not name that name here. Okay, that's taboo. That's a taboo. We do not say it. It's like saying
a large number of our community are all drinking Coke Classics and trying.
Oh my god!
Oh man!
Listening to Michael Jackson's Thriller.
You know, it's actually
coworkers. Everyone is there now.
Everyone's playing.
Like people were.
Oh no!
I had a few friends and few coworkers almost starting Elder Scrolls Online. Almost, they were just there, and now WoW Classic hit, and I lost them again.
Yeah. Mark, we need a main tank in the guild. So
no. I stood away from World of Warcraft for over a decade, successfully, despite all the insisting and invites and everything and offers from my friends. I will not start it now.
Okay. You should, because the guild's all
sir.
There. A guild that you are a co-leader of, if I
don't care. I never asked to be a co-leader of a World of Warcraft guild.
It's just all of it. The entire thing, man.
No.
You are part of it.
Well, if I'm the co-leader, then can I disband it?
No. Because you need 2/3 vote, so... That's a nice try.
Well, then can I just... Okay, so we have a... What's the name of the Asian MMO that you guys are playing?
Oh, BDO?
Yeah, BDO. So we have a BDO chapter, 1/3 of the guild. We have the Ashes of Creation chapter, 1/3. And with the World of Warcraft chapter, 1/3. So can I just use my 1/3 of the
Chronicles
vote?
of Valyria.
No, hold on. It doesn't count. It's a small chapter.
Yeah, I was going to say we're 4/3.
Okay, Lotus, now you're a co-leader as well. So can I use my 1/4 of the vote to
Technically
disband
speaking,
the
we
World
still
of
have the
Warcraft
ESO
chapter?
guild active, so 5/3.
So we're
Promethean, you're a
5/3 because I was going to say
co-leader
we
as
do
well.
still have a chapter in ESO, so that's 5/3.
I just
yeah, that's
need
good.
to use my part of the vote to disband
All right.
a part of the guild, which is the World of Warcraft.
Just like
side.
the royal family in England, you are clearly just there as a
show.
as a show. Yeah, as a yeah. That's
So
Well,
I
I do have
can't
a royal
disband World of
corgi,
Warcraft.
so
you
I was gonna say,
literally
we're-
have no real power.
en route.
You're just there.
Man.
I know like a crazy amount of people have been on that. I mean, World of Warcraft is not my thing, but like even normal ESO people I've noticed like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, oh, hey, I hope you don't mind
The-
World of Warcraft.
the
It's like,
day it
I don't
launched-
care. Like, I'm not here for what game you're playing. I'm just here to say hi. It's like, you're all playing
The day
Warcraft.
it-
I get it. Like,
The day it launched on Twitch, it broke a record of something like 1.4 million people.
yeah, I heard
Wow.
it broke 1 million
Yeah.
people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has the highest record, I think, on Twitch, period.
Well, it also like did trickle down effects, and I do find it funny that like Fortnite is no longer number 1; it's like number 5. It didn't just get bumped to second; it got bumped several levels, and it's like Minecraft is now in front of it. Too.
WoW
It's had a
Classic
huge
has
spike
so
again.
many people. WoW Classic has so many people in it. It literally can't even take one spot. It's like first, second, and third place for viewership because of how many people are watching it right now. Yeah.
Well, it'll pass. It'll pass. Well, everyone will realize that the game is 15 years old. It's not a good game anymore. Leave it.
Oh no, it's
leave
actually
it be.
it's fantastic. Actually,
Oh my gosh.
Well,
you know
I was
why
gonna
we were
say-
talking about ESO class or ESO Classic, like bringing back group
the
content. I'm
veteran
like,
ranks and
Yeah.
that's what I
The
love most about
super
this right
grind.
now. Is this
That's what I
actual
thought.
group content?
Yeah.
group content.
When,
and
when you say it
grind,
like
which
that,
is
I can.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was running around, okay? Like, and this is the thing. Unlike ESO, if you help somebody or whatever, you know, you could take part in their loot and stuff like that. In WoW, you can't, okay? Like, whoever tags it gets it. So, I was doing a quest. It was all by myself. I was doing my thing, and a priest had pulled too many things. Like, I knew they were going to get crushed because WoW Classic, you're not pulling 50 things. You pull one thing, you got it. 2 things, you probably got it. 3 things, you're blowing every cooldown you have and praying that you survive. 4 things, yeah, you're definitely screwed. Anyway, I saw they pulled a bunch, and I'm like, there's no way they're going to live on this. They're a priest, for crying out loud. All right, so I decided I was going to help them. I got nothing out of it. Even when they all died, I got no loot out of it. They were so grateful. They're like, hey, are you here doing this quest too? I'm like, well, yeah, I am. And they're like, well, you can come with. By the end, we had a full party of people in the open world doing this quest together. It was
I really miss
fantastic.
that.
Yeah.
That's the part of ESO. ESO doesn't really familiarize you with new people like the other or older MMORPGs did. So you, at the very best interaction level, RPing, putting aside RPing, role-playing, but you do a pug dungeon, you just either rush through the dungeon and it's done very quickly, or everyone suffers so much, everyone in that group hates each other by default anyway. But you don't, ESO don't give you that, like, oh yeah, I met this guy in this game and we've been friends for 7 years, although we've never met each other, kind of thing. And
Right.
like, the reason I
And-
know
and-
you guys is because content creation and Twitch and podcasts and things like that. But if it was just in the game, yeah, it wouldn't have
Early
happened.
on, it had it though more in like Craglorn
did.
areas and the later
Yeah.
veteran zone areas where
Yep.
when you were doing silver content, it was by the time you got to gold content,
Yeah.
you wanted people to run with.
Gold content as a tank was the biggest slog in history.
Yeah. I remember even before like Activity Finder, and you had to go like sit in zone chat and like ask people to.
Craglorn was the raid spot to go to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it still is.
Yeah, there's still remnants of that because that's what we need pugs. It's like, crap, we need 2 more DPS. Go to Craglorn. Doesn't matter what trial it is. Go to Craglorn.
Yeah. But yeah, like retail WoW suffers from that too. Like there's really no everything is so instanced where you're just kind of like, whatever, happy day. Going back to this where it's really an MMO again, and it feels fantastic because of it. Like absolutely fantastic. Like, and when I save that priest, people will do stuff like that because they realize how difficult the content really is. So they will stop and help you out. And later on, like 2 days later, I got help from a priest when I pulled too many things, and then we formed an ad hoc group together.
Right.
You just don't see that in other games. So yeah, I actually am really enjoying WoW Classic because of that group mentality that ESO no longer has.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I have no arguments against that. Yeah.
No, I mean, but in ESO's case, neither does retail WoW. You know, like literally, this is the only game that still has that, the classic one, because everyone got so much into the instant gratification of, you just need to, we need to get you in this group and through whatever you're trying to do as quick as possible.
Yeah.
And that.
All right. Well, I'll count that as your Tales.
I was going to say, that was the longest non-tail ever. I approve.
Yeah.
All right, Promethean, how about you?
Yeah, so I haven't been playing a whole lot. I've been bouncing around between houses, but I started fishing again, which is, typical boring. Like, the grind is once again. I have 6 tunes total, 1 for every class, and most of them just sit unleveled, and I finally started leveling my Sork up, but he's stalled out at level 40. He probably won't get to level 50 until like next year if I'm lucky. Oh, they don't level. I just don't enjoy leveling, and like if I'm gonna play, I want to play on my main and get like achievements and like do things that I actually enjoy. So
I agree with that.
Leveling and all is like, I'm like, it's whatever. I know a while ago I talked about playing Skyrim, but the music is putting me to sleep. Like, I love it so much that it just like, it's like relaxing and it just puts me to sleep. So I have not been able to play it like at all, which is unfortunate because I love the game, but I just fall asleep when I play it. And I'm like,
every time he launches the game and the Nord goes, "Oh hey, you're finally awake," and Promethean just goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Nope. That's what you think, buddy.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I have run the new dungeons. They're pretty cool. I'm a fan of Selene. Lotus and I cleared Vet Marsalok pretty easily.
Yeah,
go back.
The answer was more DPS.
It was, unfortunately. Oh, man. And I didn't get to do the other one because right when we started, my car got rear-ended, so I haven't done that one.
Yeah, that was super awkward.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which was
I got to hear your car get rear-ended on chat in the middle of the dungeon. He's like, I have to go. Someone just drove into my car. And we're all like,
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's great. And then since I'm one of the many, I'll consider myself a fool for purchasing loot crates. I'll give everyone an update on that hot mess disaster. The company has, as of a couple weeks ago, officially filed for bankruptcy and been bought out by another company who they just are not naming and have said nothing about. Essentially that the company is just helping them fulfill their orders, which I assumed was they're going to get their things out and then close, but that is not the case. I got an email the other day of them announcing new lines of things. So I don't know. The loot crate was originally supposed to be here in June, I think, and it is now pushed back to the end of this month. So it's been a thing. They've contacted everyone saying that at some point they might reach out and we may have to do things because of their bankruptcy, and just it's been a nightmare. And I'm not even sure if I'll ever see these crates. So, I guess we'll find out at the end of this month. They did announce the second crate that I'm supposed to get and the second theme, and we'll see. I will keep everyone updated. If I get it, I'll show it off on the podcast, but
yeah,
I mean, it's not coming at this point, so I've accepted it. It's just not coming. Yeah,
that was sad. That was a sad.
That was a very depressed acceptance. Like, it's not coming.
It's happened. Who knows?
Well, they do say the steps of grief is the last one. Is acceptance, like denial, anger.
Yep.
He finally hit acceptance. He's coped with his loss of ever getting this crate.
Yeah. So, we'll find out. But that's my tales.
All right. Lotus, I see, as usual, you have a lot typed in.
Yeah, mine's going to need to be edited somewhat.
Here's the thing. I mean, we are only 1 hour into the show, so if you want to go...
Really? We are way
tales,
more efficient than I'm used to.
Yeah, it's because
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, we started late. That's why.
How late?
We did. Oh, yeah, I'm actually 1 hour and 13 minutes on my side recording.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow, that is weird. I feel like, I guess
feels like we've been talking to each other for years.
Yeah, we're not used to it anymore. We're out of practice.
It takes only 3 weeks
to unlearn everything we've learned.
What is podcasting? How do I click go live?
Yeah. I think I hit Audacity, but then I deleted most of the files on my computer. I'm reinstalling Windows.
You start Audacity by deleting your System32 folder first, right? Because that's what I did.
Knew it.
Do not talk at a podcast? What is how do you? What is the show?
We can do like
how to
weird
podcast for
ASMR sounds. All right. Well, then I guess I don't know. I'll see how long I ramble. And
I guess I'll talk for 3 hours then.
So yeah, I was gonna say. Hope everyone wants a 9-hour podcast and listen to my droning forever. No. ESO, I'll actually, you know what, I'll save that for the end because this has been a long time coming, and I'm going to try to remember this from my poorly written notes. So I promised 3 weeks ago, pretty much, that I was at what I thought was the finale of Shadowkey, and I will preface this long story.
It continues going on?
This game is much more than I expected. So let me put it this way. I will start the story by saying I won, so I did beat Shadowkey. What I did not know was last time I was like, yeah, I'm heading to the Crypt of Hearts. Oh boy, did I realize that I did not do what I think I did, and I had way more in front of me, and I'm glad there was so much time in between podcast recordings because I would not have been done by the last time. So I knew the Crypt of Hearts was the way that the game ended, and I was super excited to see it because obviously the ESO connection. And that's where Umbra Keth, that weird squiddy tentacle beastie thing that kind of looks like a demigorgon, that's where he was being summoned. So I'm like, okay, cool. I go up to the front door. The guy's right there. He's like, yep, he's in there. Here, you want one final bit of training? He's the creepy old guy I had mentioned, who was the previous, hero who kind of didn't accomplish his task, so he passed the torch to you. So he gives you a little training you can do. You get a little buff before you go in the dungeon, which is fine. The Crypt of Hearts, unlike Crypt of Hearts 1 and Crypt of Hearts 2, this Crypt of Hearts, it has 3 floors, which I just thought was funny that there's a 1, 2, and a 3 in this one, even though they're not floors in ESO. There is a 1, 2, and 3 Crypt of Hearts, and Umbra Keth is in the basement. So, okay, fine, I've got it. They told me what I need to do. I have to bring those stupid star teeth that I got and place them in these like statues in this holy room. And there's 7 of them. I place them around the thing, and then it will allow me to fight and kill Umbra Keth, which is the super creature. So I go to the room. You can't do anything. I'm like, oh, I obviously have to go poke Umbercath, I guess, and maybe bring him upstairs. So that's exactly what I did. I go down to the basement, whatever. I find Umbercath. The basement's pretty small. So I had mentioned that I'm kind of overpowered in this game, and I was like, oh, yeah, I just have crazy health regen and all this stuff. Umbercath, this is how you know this is an old school game. That thing is completely off the handle compared to everything else in the entire game. I go from the entire Crypt of Hearts just face rolling everything. I can put the N-gauge down, go grab a snack. They can't kill me. I have 79... No, I'm sorry. I had 82 hit points because I leveled up right before I went in. Umbercath hits for 75 hit points per shot. So he can borderline one-shot me. And the closest thing I had taken damage to was like 8 prior to that. I'm like, wow, that's quite a jump in difficulty.
That's a boss.
It was. So I was really glad that I had squirreled away 700 health potions or something nonsensical. So I was like, well, I'll just drink these and run like a coward back up to the room. So as you run, and every time you pass one of these loading gates, which are kind of hard to explain not playing an N-gauge, but I don't recommend any of you play an N-gauge. So the draw distance in this game is pathetic. But basically, as soon as you get to the reach of the previous draw distance, the game kind of seems like it reloads, which also reloads Umbercath directly in front of you for a free shot. And he will teleport every single time you go through a draw distance load screen. Which is just as awful as it sounds, because he can almost one-shot you every time. So you sprint back to the second level, whatever. There was a lot of save scumming involved, because if he teleported in too quick, I would just get obliterated. So I save scummed my way all the way to the second chamber floor, and I start inserting the star teeth, and I put in 6 of the 7, and I go to the 7th platform, and it says you need a star tooth in order to put this star tooth in this chamber. And I was very confused as I was given my final heroic speech by everybody that, yep, you're ready to fight Umbercath. And I checked my inventory, and there was no extra star tooth. And I find out that was stock dialogue. I was supposed to have gotten another star tooth somewhere along the way.
Oh, no.
Which I've apparently missed. So I had 6/7 of the way to beat the end boss, and I was now trapped in the dungeon with a teleporting Instagib boss. So I had to figure out where my missing star tooth was. So I had to run entirely out of the endgame dungeon with this thing teleporting in front of me every 4 feet. So, again, lots more save scumming. I managed to get out. Luckily, he does not follow you entirely across the outer fields. And I had to systematically go through every single zone that I had cleared in the game to figure out where this was.
How long did this take you?
When I screwed up and realized, 2 hours and 36 minutes was when I started timing how bad did I screw this up.
Oh, man.
And I found out that I missed an entire dungeon somehow because it's behind a tree. It's just a temple, but you're never required to go there. They never really tell you about it. It's just behind a tree. It's got a game-critical quest item in there, just like Morrowind and other games of that era. I went in there and completely destroyed everything because it was, terrible and super underleveled. It was called Broken Wing. It looks kind of cool, just because it's if you looked at the world map, it was literally a bird with a broken wing was how the map looked, which is kind of different. And the enemies caused no damage and all this stuff. And the real problem was the fact that apparently I also dodged the worst jumping puzzle in the entire game. So with the delayed controls, I think there were 8 or 11 teleporters that would teleport you to random places around the map, which would lead to a jumping puzzle where if you missed your jump, you immediately died and had to suffer the 40-second load screen. So if you haven't gathered a theme yet, save scummed my way through most of those jumping puzzles because every time I made a jump, I had to save. That was awful.
Nice.
I went from being kind of okay with this game until this experience happened, and then I wasn't okay with this game, like at all for a while. But I managed to get through the god-awful jumping puzzle. Right at the end, there was some boss. He's talking some crap about how he's super tough. I leveled him by like 20 levels, so I think I one-shotted him, or I might have taken a second swing. Yeah. Grabbed his star tooth. The game gives me nothing, no indication. It's like, oh, now you can fight him. Nope, they're just totally like, yep, here's a star tooth. It's just like, yeah, all right, this was totally supposed to just have been a thing I found. Went back. As soon as I get through the door, Umberketh immediately one-shots me because it's just always there. So I went back. I loaded and went back in. You can't hurt him if you're not in the room, so I had to go all the way back down to level 2 while he continues to teleport in front of me. I get to the room, I chug a bunch of health potions, I click the same swing button, whatever. I killed him, I beat Shadowkey. Don't play Shadowkey. It's not worth it.
He didn't take a screenshot of the ending credits, so now he has to go back and redo
luckily,
the whole thing.
Oh my god, I'll kill myself. Not only do I have a screenshot of it, I posted it on Twitter, and I played 4 save slots, all on the N-Gage, which is still plugged in just in case I ever need it again.
So here's the real question.
Yes.
You're in a room. This is a Saul situation. To escape, you must play one of 2 games. Shadowkey or Redguard. Which do you choose? Or, let yourself starve to death in the room.
I was going to say, okay, so what are the odds that Shadowkey and the N-Gage are plugged in and I have the option to strangle myself with the N-Gage cord?
So how much time did you spend on Shadowkey overall in total? Have you calculated?
So I did not keep a running tally, like clockwise. I did, like, when I screwed that thing up, I timed it because I was like, I screwed up bad. Like, I was like, oh no, I screwed up bad. So I actually did set a timer because I was like, how long is it going to take me to get that? That's how I knew that one was 2 hours and 36 minutes. Overall, if I were to guesstimate, I would say I probably played that for a solid 15 hours. Like, that was probably a solid 15-hour game. Like, that was a legitimate game. That was not a phone game. That was a game.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, today, some games are, like, 4 or 5 hour gameplay tops. And
yeah, nope.
They are running on PCs powerful enough to, chew N-Gage.
Yeah, nope. That was, I would guesstimate probably about 15 hours. Would be my assumption where it was. So, yep. Certainly a full game. I guess it does put into perspective things like blades and stuff about what you get for overall length of storyline compared to a game from 2003. But yeesh, that was an experience. I was starting to come around on it until I screwed up bad at the end and realized that I walked myself into that. So. In the end, thumbs down, partially for my own reasons of I did that to myself to some degree, but yikes. The only other thing I'll actually really discuss, because I do want to keep this somewhat short, is, like Promethean had mentioned, just kind of piggybacking on that. I did the new dungeons. I really liked both of them. I thought Marsalok, hopefully you can't hear my dog spazzing out as my wife is rearranging the cars in the driveway and Boots is having a stroke.
I can, but it's fine.
She's very excited. I liked the visuals of Lair of Marsalok. I thought that dungeon was very cool. I have one kind of big issue with some of the mechanics in the third fight where you have to use the seed to pop the orb thing. I'm not going to go too into it for those who haven't played it. But when you get to that fight, I'll go into it later more, but I don't really like the Strangler mechanic in that fight. I feel it is too oppressive and really strong arms you into just wanting more DPS, because I've done it now several times. We have I've always done like do it with 3 DPS, it's fine. That one is objectively for us harder with 2 damage dealers.
Yeah.
Because healing just isn't efficient in that fight.
Yeah.
So damage just makes it better. Whereas Moongrave Fane, I actually specifically tagged Finn in this. I'm impressed. That was the first time 3 DPS was noticeably harder than just having a healer.
Yeah.
That block fight, very cool. Like the big thing they've advertised where you like sliding the blocks around. Really cool fight. That is miserable if the DPS are stamina DPS. They don't have a chance in that fight. They get melted. Whereas Magicka DPS, you got the shield, so you can kind of do it better. Wow. I've done it with 3 DPS at this point, and I've done it with healer at that. That dungeon is just straight up easier with a healer. So good on them.
Both dungeons are really... Oh, no. Actually, yeah. Lair of Marsalok is 3D. Yeah. Never mind. My brain is slowly shutting down. Ignore me.
That's fine. Yeah. So, like, I was just impressed because I felt like for the first time in a while that I was like, okay, you know what? I actually would like a healer for this. Like, that's... and I know that's kind of supposed to be their goal. So I'm like, good on you guys with that one. Either way, I liked both the dungeons a bunch. So I did enjoy them. Stories are pretty cool. Curious to see how this season will end when we get our next edition. But that's pretty much it for me.
Alright, well, what I did is, we also did the new dungeons. Initially, I thought they were, like, too easy compared to when the previous DLC dungeons first released. Turns out they aren't easy, but we were throwing ourselves at hard modes with the same group for so long. We kind of got better, which is nice to hear. Because for us, it was like, why are these dungeons so easy? So I even tweeted at Mike Finnegan, like, did you guys make these dungeons easier, or did we got good over time because of the hard modes? And I was like, nope, the dungeons are the same. You guys got good. And I was like, yes, dungeon lead confirmed. I have a couple problems though with like Layers of Marsalok. It's just blue is a good aesthetic, yes. But that dungeon is so purely blue. And that in that seed fight with the tree in the middle, or whatever trunk, hive, whatever that is, the boss leaves a blue AoE on a fully blue map without the AoE indicator. So, like, it makes it very difficult to see, and it kills one purpose of, we can give different colors to the AoE indicators, enemy AoE indicators. Now, one of the most important functions of that is colorblind, or like partial or fully colorblind people can also use different colors, so they can actually play the game by seeing that color. But I don't know what effect blue has in partial or full colorblindness, but if you make a dungeon completely blue, and you make the boss AoE that melts the tanks blue as well, I don't think that's a good design. I think there's
agree
gotta
with
be some options there, like, because I mean I don't have color blindness. I can't see it. It's
nor do
blending
I.
in unless you pay
I didn't
real
know I was in an
attention.
AoE at a couple points.
So
I had no idea. So I totally agree.
that's something to think about, you know. So far, ESO in terms of color schemes and accessibility, that kind of thing, ESO hasn't been bad. ESO has been okay. So that specific boss fight can be made better, I suppose. Other than that, there was a lot of recycled mechanics. That's one thing. So, first boss of Moongrave Fane, basically Itherian Archive Stone Giant, like Stone Atronak, or it was Helras.
I actually forgot about that.
Combined with the Rock Throwers from Ruins of Mazatun. So that's the first fight.
Yep.
Just blobs added. Second boss, the one who gets a shield and you get damaged over time. Maw of Lorcage, pillar boss.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, that was. So that's the only one. Just not to like totally. That is true. You're right. That's straight up from Maw of Lorcage. One thing I believe it was Starkrealm who had mentioned from the Tenants. The amount of people who have completed Maw of Lorcage is so low.
Oh.
That one almost should maybe get a pass just because so few people have ever seen that mechanic. So it kind of makes sense that they tried to include it. Which, that's the only thing to their credit. Yes, it's reused, but it's kind of neat that it's made its way into a dungeon, at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all I just wanted to mention about that one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I thought that was a pretty valid
That's a
point.
good
Where I was like,
point.
oh yeah, actually, most people might not even know what this is.
Yeah. And then at the final boss, okay, that was a fun fight because there was a lot going on with the box and thing. As for Layers of Marselok, I don't remember all the fights of Layers of Marselok. I don't know if there was any recycled ones, but the first time you fight the dragon where he just flies away and then you have to wait around for him to come down, and then he comes down.
Oh, the perch fight?
The spiders.
Yeah, and then you hit him again and he flies away again.
Yes, that's the
wait
ad
around
control
again.
fight.
Yeah.
Like, let me hit the boss. We have enough DPS to burn it down. Let me hit. Don't make me wait.
So it's weird. I like that fight, but I do understand what you're saying. Like, I like the fact that it wasn't really us fighting him. It was trying to get Celine's spiders to knock him down so we could get him. But I do know what you... Because, I mean, Promethean was in my first run of that when we were doing that on Vet. Like, will you just come down already? Like, we're just... we're standing around because, again, we did it with 3 DPS. So it was just a graveyard, and spiders are just casually going up the wall. We're like, okay, guys, anytime you want to knock him down, that'd be great.
The issue that I was noticing is that there isn't like a set number. Like, I didn't notice any consistency. Like, we would bring him down real fast and then it'd take forever on the next one. And I was like, okay, so like, what is the difference if we're doing everything the same? Like, we're executing the mechanics. Why is he not falling at the same rate? Like,
sure.
I was kind of
I didn't understand how that works. We basically just killed everything until it was dead as well.
Yeah.
Or flew
Pretty
away.
much.
Yeah.
And-
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that is when we do the speed run of this dungeon, that fight will be even more frustrating because you'll be looking at the clock like, anytime now, you're on the clock, you're doing a speed run, can you please come down so that we can kill you?
Right.
But other than that, yeah, fun dungeons. Hard modes, we tried a few times, we didn't push hard, and they seem to be painful.
Oh, that was not the experience we had.
Yeah, so we had mixed, slightly different results.
Oh, was it easy?
Well,
Moongrave Fane is a nightmare.
Okay.
I have not done that one. We were screwing around with Lair of Marsalak and actually got it nearly completed before we had even done it on normal, like just straight vet.
Yeah.
The one thing is, which again, I like it. It is from a different game. And I know you're a Destiny player, so it's kind of interesting. So you know the purge you have to clear off yourself?
I can't remember what raid it was.
During that fight?
In Destiny.
So it's from... It's the one where you have to read the symbols on the back. It was King's Fall, I believe it was, where you had the symbol reader.
Yeah.
So what it is there are 3 pools that highlighted, and it tells everybody so it tells 3 people one pool and 1 person another pool. You have to communicate to figure out which is the real pool, because 2 of them are fake. Only one of them will cleanse you.
All right.
So it forces communication, which I thought was very cool. But at the same time, if you communicate, that means it's just not that much difference. Like, I mean, you can't just blindly and just run at 1 and clear yourself. But I mean, if you're doing that with a pug, I don't know how that's physically possible. No. Unless you're all in chat, I don't get it. But in a party, the 4 of us were talking to each other. It was it's that one. And we would just go purge. And then the only thing that screwed us up was it seemed like if you died, you could not resurrect. That was kind of where we stopped messing with that one. Because it would just vine into the ground and you were just dead forever. And I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of rough. But yeah, so I don't know. It seemed interesting. Like I said, we actually tried hard mode for some weird reason before we even finished the dungeon on Vet. And we started to make pretty decent progress, got it almost complete, and then we're like, all right, we should just beat this, and then we'll just come back. So that's what we did. Yeah. So.
That's how we first tried hard mode as well. So we got, on our first run, that's what we do with all dungeons. We throw ourselves a couple times at the hard mode.
Sure.
Before even knowing what the actual mechanics are. But, so I think we tried 3 times, and in the chaos we just died, and we were like, okay, you know what, let's do it normally, normal veteran, and then we're gonna, I mean, we still have a few achievement runs to complete for a few dungeons of the previous DLCs, so there are those.
Same here. It's I jump around when people want, I want to do this. It's okay, whether I have it or not, it's if I have time, that's fine, I'll just screw around with it or whatever. But yeah, I like Moongrave Fane, on the other hand. Promethean had left for that. That is just...
I didn't even barely figure out what happened there. So
that was our problem. I was I don't even know what's going on, but I'm dead.
I activated hard mode, I pulled the boss, and then I realized I'm getting hit by everything. It's at the same time.
Yeah. And our
Where
healer
did these guys come
was
from?
just the healer was saying, he's I can't heal. And then he died. I was just I can't heal. He's I seem to not be able to heal. I was I have no idea what's happening. So we just went to normal vet, and we were okay, just regular veteran was fine for that one for now.
As a healer, that is the most frustrating thing in the world. When we were doing, when I originally did Marsalak on vet, and it was 2 DPS, and we were doing the fight, and everyone is you're in different sections of the map, and they're you suck. And I was well, I can't heal 4 different people in 4 different places all at the same time, so I don't know exactly what you want me to do here.
Yep. Physics says no.
Yeah. Game mechanics are really not a thing.
Yeah.
So the highlight of my week was I got to tank on the official Bethesda Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Because Ophelia Noir got invited by Bethesda UK into the London office, and she and Neil from Bethesda UK, they were sort of chatting and running the Scale Color dungeons, and obviously our usual team was tanking, so Chams was healing, I was tanking, and Gio was DPSing along with Nika. And I actually got praised a lot, and it was nice.
Yeah.
So Nika, I even
right.
clipped it. So at one point, at the first boss, everyone dies. And Neil goes to Nika like, is this normal for everyone to die? And she said like, oh yeah, usually at the first dungeon of the day, we are not paying attention and everyone dies. But I have faith in my tank. And he is strong and he'll be able to res us all back. Because he's a great tank. And I was like, yeah. I got praised on the official Bethesda channel. And then I was rewatching the stream and I looked at chat and people were like, this tank hard and things like that. I was like,
That's right.
I did it.
Nice.
Doing the show proud.
I made it.
That's some nice Ebonheart tanking right there.
My only issue is, you know the heavy attacks from bosses with that glowing sparkle visual cue? The classic one-shot hits?
Yep.
Amidst chaos, I just can't see them. And get one shot. Like, that's the one
I was
thing.
going to say the yellow ones. Do you notice the red ones when they're doing the interruptible one? Or is it just the yellow ones or both?
Both, yeah. I just don't... That specific, like, sparkling-ish visual cue.
Yeah.
My mind
the line's kind of
doesn't
going
register
into the
it.
thing.
Like, I have to be looking at the boss, like, full focus without seeing anything else to catch that visual cue. If I can figure out a way to catch those visual cues somehow, then I'll actually be a very, very, very good tank. That's the one thing that I haven't been able to overcome. Seeing
I was going to
those
say, to
visual
your
cues.
credit then, if that's something you don't notice and you're getting through all these things on Vet, that's probably like me trying to do it with like a joystick missing like on my controller. Because like
point,
some of those I
give...
can't imagine not being able to block. It's like, okay, I'm durable as hell, but like if that smashes me, I'm probably just toast. Yeah,
you get one shot, there's no question. Yeah, there is no way.
Interesting.
Because you don't drop shields, you don't block, because you don't see them coming, and it's like, bam, I'm dead. I'm like, come on again. The attack. But to our DPS's credit, Nika and Geo, they can be very tanky DPS. They do insane damage, but when I'm dead, like Nika can res me standing in fire with a stage 4 vampire being a DPS. She's like, she did it on Bethesda stream as well. I'm dead, like on the ground, because the gargoyle attacks are the least I can see because their animation is minimal as well. So I'm dead in the fire.
Yeah, that's almost all they do.
Being embarrassed because we are an official Bethesda channel. I got one shot as a tank. And she's just standing in the fire while the bosses, like, flame bursts are hitting her. She's in fire. There's all these lava going on. And she's, like, casually rezzing me. I'm like, okay, well, I guess she's got to be the tank.
two tanks, got it.
Yeah. Right. And she still does up to, like, I think at this point 40k DPS, so.
Yeah, so she's able to clear pretty much anything anyways. So no, if you I don't play DPS. I'm messing with it. I was gonna say, once I can make a nice solid DPS test on a dummy on Guarnir, I'll make sure to post it.
Oh, come on.
We
were going so nicely.
We were, but it's gotta happen.
How did you sneak it in there? We were gonna finish a show without the mention of it.
I haven't forgot everything.
Oh my goodness.
He's a match player, which are apparently dropping bombs on this patch too. So like that's just it. I've got to perfect him. But like, like when I'm with people who can sustain themselves, and so much of what I do tends to not involve a healer, just because they're either not available. I mean, originally that was kind of our gimmick, and now I don't really like the whole elitist thing that popped up around that, where I'm like, great, that wasn't really the objective of this. But like, with, you know, whether I have a healer in my group or not, it's always so impressive to me when somebody's dropping, you know, crazy amounts of damage. Like, I'm dropping 40, 50,000 damage a second. It's like, oh man, that in and of itself is impressive. and then they're also not going down and like dodge rolling and stuff. I was like, how do you keep a rotation and do all of that? Like, good lord, like you're melting my brain. So kudos to people that can do that.
So I gotta bring this up. Best Ryan ever says, I also don't like this whole run dungeons without a healer thing. It's a fun challenge. It's a really fun challenge. Because some dungeons...
He would also be one of our healers.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he would be one of our healers. That's why.
That makes sense. But here's the thing.
He's at a couple he's like, hey, I'm not obsolete. Great. Like...
Some of these dungeons are so easy with a healer. It's like... I mean, there was a time... So we had a healer in Drunkenborns called Kimundi. Now he is a full-on progression guild hard mode Mao Florkash style healer. So he is at the top of his game. He would not let me kill anyone. So I, as the tank, try specifically to get people killed in a dungeon by pulling the bosses to people, doing everything in my power, and he would just keep everybody alive. I could not kill my squishies, even when I tried to. And I couldn't die myself. So what I would do... See, this is why my awareness didn't develop all that much in ESO dungeons. Because I could just, like, leave the game, minimize the game, go into Twitter, tweet something, read my chat, reply to people, go into my inventory, eat some food, and I would just stay alive. Regardless. He would just keep it alive. So, it got too easy.
No, I know what you mean.
And then
like, I'm spoiled. So, like, when I play with people who don't drop crazy numbers, it's like... I get confused why fights are still going. I'm like, this fight's really going on for a long time. It's like, it's been 12 seconds. It's like, yeah, why haven't we won? Like, what's going on? So it's like...
And then, like, due to scheduling issues, we couldn't play together, and Chamzin didn't have his healer all the way to champion points back then. So we started doing, like, inspired from Lotus, we started doing 3 DPS runs, and things suddenly got harder. But at the same time, like, more chaotic, because we started dying because we were doing too much DPS. It triggers all of the boss sequences at the same time. And it's like, you get the boss from 100% to 20% in 5 seconds, and suddenly there are 85 ads attacking you at the same time. You're like, what is going on? Where did these guys come from? So yeah, 3 DPS is a fun challenge. Except in Black Rose Prison. That was painful. We did not get to finish that. I kind of want to go back and try that.
Let's just say that I did 1 try of Black Rose Prison with 3 DPS, and 2 of them don't play the game anymore. That's not a joke. One sold his PlayStation, and the other is just like, I'm done with ESO. I was like, okay, well, we're going to get a new team, and we're going to get a healer this time.
Oh, that's, yeah. We got to the second boss. It just wasn't working. I believe we can do it. If we if we have enough patience. But out of that entire group, I am the only one who likes to suffer like this. So I'm not forcing that upon them.
I'm not a huge fan of just Black Rose Prison as a piece of content. It's really not super my thing. I don't know. I don't really like it that much. It's not bad. It's just, I'm very meh on it. And Promethean's been on, you know, we had that really long run that one day where we got to the 3rd arena boss, the vampire boss, which was noticeably easier than the 2nd arena Netch boss. Yeah. But we had been in there for 3.5 hours at that point. Oh. So we just were like making mistakes because we were just tired of playing and not blinking. So we like called it there. And then now the next time I do it, you start from the beginning. And I'm like, oh, that second arena, man. It's brutal.
Black Rose Prison I feel like Black Rose Prison just got forgotten,
it did.
I have a very hard time getting people, even from my trials groups, that are willing to go in. I'm just like, hey, anybody want to do like a Black Rose run? And people are like, no. I'm like, really?
And you don't hear
no?
about
like,
it
not even gonna
from,
try? Just hard up no?
And you don't hear it from like Outcasts, Inklings, whatever. Like people don't run it. It's forgotten.
Yeah,
it's forgotten, and it's weird because people still enjoy Dragonstar Arena.
Yeah,
and it's like it's the advanced Dragonstar Arena. It's like, oh, Dragonstar Arena, you got on lockdown. We'll try this because it's way harder. And it's like, nope. That honestly, was like
Dragonstar Arena is one of the best 4-man contents ESO came up with, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's a massive amount of mechanics. It's challenging, even if you are good. Like that final boss fight as a tank is one of my favorite boss fights to tank, because the healer has to stay away.
Because that is a tank test.
And it's insane. And there's the DPS race. The healer needs to tank. The tank needs to tank without healer, and then the DPS has to do so much damage that the tank can survive before his like resource management goes to shit. So it's a challenge for everyone at the same time. It's a beautiful boss fight, in my opinion. So yeah. All right. Well, Promethean. I said you would meet the character, but a few more minutes ago, my eyes were closed and I was actually asleep. I don't know if anyone in chat noticed, but I actually woke up from like a 10-second complete blank drift off.
It's rushed it.
Yeah, so we might leave it for the next week.
That's fine. Not a big deal.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, what is it, 6:30 where you are?
Yes. So I am at about, I'm 22 hours awake now.
You've already almost done a 24-hour marathon, and all you were trying to do is just record the show with us.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of want to make it to the entire 24-hour of your charity marathon this year.
Oh man, hang out the whole time. Oh boy.
I'll try.
I get pretty.
If it's Saturday,
I
can
get pretty
make
delirious
it.
Around 20
Dude,
hours.
Those are the best
I've talked to a bunch of people about it. Ninja and stuff like that, and I've said to several people where it's just like, they're like, you hit that 20-hour mark, and people are like, this dude's either drunk or completely delirious, and I'm like, that's it, that's the wall. You hit 20 hours and it's just, nope, my brains are done.
I feel like Ag is also drifting.
I'm about
away.
there
He's
too.
been-
I'm right about.
Yeah.
Ag. So do you want to do the outro?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh wow, that's one way to test it. Oh well, he's got this memorized. It's
Yeah, I know.
No, I can. Are you ready to do the outro now, or?
I guess
yeah, I think we're good. I was gonna say that seems like everything.
we reached the 2-hour episode. I think it was a good returning episode. Hopefully everyone will enjoy. And
Get everybody caught up.
Okay. All right. Well then. Awesome. Do you guys actually want to say where people can find you guys first before I do the whole outro?
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah, it would. Wouldn't it?
Well, let's go ahead first.
All right. Well, you can find me at Lotus of Doom on Twitter and Twitch. I'm ideally going to be starting actually consistently streaming again soon. I can't stream as much as other people because of obligations in life, but I will actually be streaming, ideally once a week at least. The only difference is my name on there is with a 0 instead of an O because Twitch hates me. And yeah, I'm on Twitter a whole bunch. And I'm pretty much on there if you want to ask me anything or just, chat or whatever. That's pretty much my main social media platform. So.
All right, Promethean.
I'm only on Twitter, and it's Promethean99, which is also, I mean, if you're feeling bold and want to group up with me on PlayStation, that's also my PSN. I'm gonna do a shameless guild plug real fast, though.
Yeah.
If anyone would like to be in a guild, Lotus and I are both in. It's called Twilight Nightingales on PS4. If you want to hang out with an unofficial Tales guild, you're more than welcome.
Think of it as the de facto console Tales guild.
Yeah, you just hit one of us up and we'll get you in there.
Yep.
Sounds good. Well, you can find me anywhere that is Arkhaniir, ARKHANIIR. That's Twitch, Twitter, Gmail. That's about it. And I'm gonna throw the ball at Ag because yeah.
All right. Well, you can follow everything we do over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. There you'll find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to check out our Patreon program, patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork, if you want to help support the show. You can also leave us a 5-star review on iTunes where people know that we're a real podcast, that we say real words. Sometimes they matter. Thank you so much for joining all of us here for this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we'll see you next time.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's like the Micro Machines guy from the 80s.
All right, have a good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magic effused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.